Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the How to Build series where we're going through every single champion in the game, and I'm putting together a quick reference guide for newer players, beginner players who just need a little guidance on how to gear someone up, where to use them, how to use them, and just generally what I think about them overall. Won't be getting into masteries and later game stuff in these are geared for the newer players. So that being said, let's go ahead and hop into it with Elder of the Barbarian faction. He is a defense champ, pretty cool looking. Let's talk about his base stats. He is a defense champ. His base HP is nice. It's nice enough. His base attack is what you'd expect out of a defense champ. His base defense, he's over 1100. It's not bad. Base speed's low. Base speed is low, but maybe that won't matter. Let's take a look at his skills. First skill has a provoke. Damage based on attack. I don't love that. Right out of the gate here. I don't love that the damage is based on attack because he's a defense champ and he's got low base attack. It's going to be hard to make that do damage, and I'm assuming there's some reason for him to be defense based. So not a fan of that right out of the gate, but let's keep going. Second skill places 50% ally protection on the most injured ally for 2 turns. Grants an extra turn. Now this is a really cool skill. This protects whoever the most injured is on the team, and he doesn't have to burn a turn to do it, and it helps him cycle cooldowns, right? So like if this is on, whatever that skill is on cooldown, this helps him cycle cooldowns. So that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool that he doesn't have to burn a turn, so to speak, to put the ally protection on someone. So I dig that. Places a counterattack buff on this champion for 2 turns. Heals this champion by 15%. Okay, so he heals himself. He gets a counterattack buff. Here's my problem. Here's why Elder is going to get a low rating from me. He has 1 skill that does damage, and it scales on attack, and he's a defense champ. And the other 2 skills would make it nice for him to have defense. Here, you want him to have defense for that, like defense and HP, so that he can actually tank with the ally protection. And then here, he's got a counterattack, which means when he gets hit, he's going to hit and potentially put a provoke on someone, which means they're going to hit him again, which means he's going to need to be tanky, so he's going to need the defense and HP. But his only damage-dealing skill scales on attack. And his base attack is not good. His base defense is where that should be. If they changed this and scaled him off defense, I would think he was a pretty cool champ. I would think he's there to protect, he's there to have counterattack, and be really aggravating. He's going to be counterattacking people, dropping this provoke on them, and doing damage. Then he gets a little scary if this scales off defense, right? Because that scales off attack, I wouldn't use him, to be honest with you. I think that's really aggravating. He's got 1 damage dealing skill, and it's based on a stat that you just shouldn't really be stacking on him. If you want to gear him up, I do think you want to shoot his tankiness up. So HP set, defense set is nice. You also want to shoot his attack up, so I guess attack set, work an attack set in there somewhere. He also needs accuracy, so he can land the provoke, or that's kind of worthless. You generally want speed on a lot of champs, but the fact that he can counterattack and land a provoke makes speed not quite as crucial on him. So I would probably just look for some speed in the subs. That was my chair, by the way. I didn't fart in my YouTube video. You could put a speed set on him, but not put speed on the boots. If you had like a good pair of, or a good speed set that had any of the other stats you wanted. The problem with him on top of not being that good, and this not really doing any damage because it scales off attack, is that because it scales off attack, he needs HP percentage, he needs defense percentage, he needs attack percentage, he needs accuracy, and then he does need a little bit of speed. Like I said, he doesn't need much because of his kit design, but you still don't want him to have 92 speed, right? So he's real stat hungry for very little payoff, in my opinion. It's going to be very minor poke damage that he's doing to these. Basically, this skill is just for the provoke to distract so the rest of your team can kill. But if you find yourself in a situation where it's just Elder and someone else, he can only protect them so long. And really, he's just trying to pull the fire off the rest of the team so they can kill. If the rest of your team gets wiped, I can't fathom a way he clutches it out, because I just don't think he can kill, because he scales off attack. So that's what I would say for the gear. You've got a lot of stats to focus on him. Whatever, HP gear, attack gear, defense gear, accuracy gear, speed gear. There's a lot of stats to focus on him. And again, I think it's a lot of work for very little payoff. As far as utility, like he could have been nice in arena. He could have been a nice little arena champ. And then maybe campaign, he could have been nice as well. A couple of the dungeons, maybe. I'm going to be honest, I don't feel like he's worth a ton of time, ton of resources. I think my rating for him is going to be like a 3, 2.5, 3. Again, if this scales off defense, it's a much different story, but it does not. So, yeah, that's going to do it for Elder. That's going to do it on my thoughts on Elder. I hate doing these when they're bummers like this, but I wouldn't put a ton of time into him personally. If you have questions, drop them below. If you have comments, drop them below. If you're using him and he's a lot better than I'm saying he is, let me know. If you're using him for some stuff I didn't consider, if you've got him geared up a certain way that's really useful for you, that information is always great. I don't always have all the answers. Maybe I'm wrong. Other than that, if you want to try to catch me on Twitch, I stream at twitch.tv/JGigs. I hope this was helpful. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.